Yo, what's good, man? We got a very special guest in the building. You mind introducing yourself?
I'm Coach Ronnie from the BK Stompers.
All right, shout out to Coach Ronnie. But before we get into anything, let's shout out our sponsors, Frontline Millionaires, where you can get your Frontline Millionaires gear at www.frontlinemillionaires.shop.
Also sponsored by I'm Different and It's Okay by Stephanie _ Kia 684 on Instagram. Just click the link in the bio.
So what's good, man? How y'all brothers feeling today? Everything good, man. We in the building with legendary Coach Ronnie from the BK Stompers. I mean, I've been watching this brother for maybe, I want to say at least 8 to 10 years. I know he probably been doing it longer than that, but for the people that don't know, let them know who Coach Ronnie is.
I mean, I'm just a coach from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I end up getting kids that were in my same circumstances when I was young. You know, I try to be a leader for them, give them some guidance. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes you got to make sacrifice, you know, so we could build the future. So I've been doing that for some years, and I touch some lives. So that's what keeps me going. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you say that keep you going. So like, what was the first idea that sparked that made you want to even become a coach?
Well, I mean, I played ball myself growing up, and I always felt like I lacked that. Like I could have went further if I would have had somebody to give me the game, somebody I could trust that knows that even if it wasn't about them being a player themselves, maybe they just had the experience to pass that on. So I try to be that to my young boys. You know, a lot of them don't have. You know, some of their families are not engaged in the sport, and they don't have that direction. So they out here making decisions for themselves that will affect their life, not knowing the outcome. And you really only got one chance to get it right.
Facts. That's facts.
Definitely.
So for the people that don't know, let them know how long you've been a coach.
Man, I'm going to say my first group of kids is now 32. So, I mean, they had to be 15, 14 when I started.
So you say about 15, 16 years,
yeah,
about
facts.
around that. That's crazy.
Boys to men.
Yeah, that's crazy. So growing up with a lot of these guys, you still coach a lot of these guys today?
Yeah, a lot of them, and I still got relationships with them. To this point, like some of my first group of guys are phasing out. Like a lot of them are just getting older and they moving on to different things.
Give us some names.
Keanu Rochford, Sean Armand,
Shout out to Keno, man. We just had him
Brandon
up here.
Frazier, Bryce Jones, Jamal Williams. Like, I mean, I could go. The list is crazy.
Yeah.
Naming a lot of good players.
Yeah,
a lot
right.
of good
Like,
players.
but I had all of them dudes when they was children, you know.
Facts.
Some of them weren't even, you know, household names at the time, but they became that with the growth. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, we noticed. Like I noticed, you started coaching at an early age.
yeah, facts.
Yeah, so
You know,
that's it's like so. Like, how did you?
shit. If I got 18 years in, I'm 42 now. So you want to say, what was I, 24, 23?
The passion to do that at that age?
Right.
Yeah.
And I was still heavy outside. I was still
Moving
fake
around.
playing ball myself. Like,
Okay, so you play ball.
Still gotta
yeah, I used to hoop. I was solid. You know, like I said, I didn't have that guidance. There's a couple things that could have been different, and I could have did different had I known better. You know, so I try to be that to them because those decisions count.
Okay, so did you start at the BK Stompers when you first started coaching?
No, I actually was a BK Stomper when I was a kid.
Okay, so it was actually before you coaching.
Years before me.
How
this
long
is
has
a
it
big.
been?
See, people don't know. Like, it's a lady by the name of Miss Ruth Payne that
Shout out to her.
she started all of this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I just was the youth injection into it because she started getting older. You know, she's still out there. You know, but she can't move the way she used to move. She's not as accessible. She's not as in the loop as I am.
Yeah.
So I kind of took it upon myself, feeling like it was a good thing that they did. I wanted to keep it going.
Okay, yeah, just say her name one more time.
Ruth Payne.
Ruth Payne, and she's the person that created the BK
she started
Stompers.
the BK
Do you know when, like, what year it started?
I'm sure this is well before me. Like, this been going on.
So this ain't no.
Yeah, this ain't no new upstart thing. You hearing the name now because of me, but this been going on. It was a little more local. I just took it and put it
then
on a
did
broader
your thing with it.
spectrum,
Yeah.
right?
So,
Ain't fit.
so just let some of the people know some of the tournaments that you coached in.
I mean, I've been everywhere, man. I was the first Brooklyn dude doing that. I took my dudes from Brooklyn. We went up to Dykeman. We went up to hoops in the Sun in the Bronx. You know, Lower East Side, West Fourth, whatever you could think, Gersh Park. You know what I mean? Whatever you could think of, we did it a few times.
Facts, and I
High
definitely-
school and the pro level.
I definitely could be a witness to that because we be them guys in there rooting for BK Stompers because, you know, it's not too many Brooklyn dudes in Dykeman.
Facts,
and then we
facts.
got to go against the Skull Gang and all of that.
Facts.
Yeah, but
Oh, you know the
definitely.
uptown treatment. You gonna get it every
Yeah,
time.
but we definitely appreciate the talent you bring. You know what I mean? What you look for like in a player that make you want him to play for your team?
That's a good question because I don't always go after. I stamp dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? I don't need somebody else to tell me a dude is ready. I know when they're ready.
Yeah,
You feel me? Just because of what I'm looking for, certain things I see that makes me say, "Yo, this kid is worth my time. He's worth my sacrifice." Because I'm like, I'm here. I'm away from my family. I'm away from doing things I like to do.
facts.
So this got to be of some fun to me, and I got to feel like it means something.
Facts.
So when you got the right type of kids and they like you see the hard workers, those are the ones, you got a little bit of talent, but you willing to put the work in to get where you need to get. You willing to just completely be a student and listen and learn. Because I tell all the kids, yo, man, you got to have hard workers because when the shots ain't falling, you still got to be productive some kind of way.
Facts. You gotta
So
play
you
defense.
got, I done seen the dudes that was all world that didn't pan out, and I seen the dudes that was nothing that turned into something. And it's usually those dudes that win because they understand the process of hard work.
Facts.
They know what it is to be not that good and then become the better dudes, and then they start passing those dudes that was naturally more talented than them. You know what I'm saying? The naturally more talented dudes, they don't work as hard because the game comes easy to them.
Yeah,
So it's
they
like,
more
okay,
lackadaisical with
yeah.
it.
So they like, okay, and then what happens is the hard workers start catching up to the
Yeah.
naturally talented, and now
That's
Hard
like
work
Shaq and
always-
Kobe.
the hard working gonna keep going because
Like
now
Shaq
I've
and
been
Kobe.
doing this for years.
Yeah.
You
How
know?
that turn out? Like, for instance, if you got two players that you coaching and you see one starting to pass the star or the center player, how that
Well, usually the players that have that mentality, they always have that mentality. It's hard to get through to those dudes because it's like how I'm gonna tell you to work when you getting 30 on everybody everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But you not understanding what's gonna come in the future because these dudes are not working on their body. They're not working because they feel like, wow, nobody could guard me. So it's harder to get through to those dudes. The
Facts.
dudes that's getting their ass bust, it's real easy to tell them they doing something wrong, and they be
Yeah,
like, all right,
easy.
well, I'm getting my ass bust, so it gotta be a way I can fix this. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
really can't say too much.
yeah, but so that's the problem. When you got the kids that got the talent, getting them to work if it's not natural.
Yeah. Facts.
How young do you start coaching?
Well, now we gonna be running the gym out in East New York. So I'm starting kids of all ages, all skill levels, girls included.
Facts.
I'll be putting that information out. I'll get it to y'all so y'all can promote it.
Definitely,
But-
definitely gonna promote it.
Yeah, we
Definitely.
just like I said, it's no age limit on this. The younger the better. You get them started.
I got
get
a
'em used to
5-year-old son. Not to cut you off, I got a 5-year-old son that I'm fiending to get into
Yeah,
basketball.
get them, bring them through. You getting the structure at a young age is good for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
they
We
learn.
definitely didn't have that. I didn't go to no camps, nothing.
Right, and that's a lot of kids' problems. So like when I first started, that's how I started. I had a partnership with 5 Star.
Yeah.
I sent a bunch of my kids for free.
Yeah.
I never could go to 5 Star because my family never could afford it. So once I had the connection to do it,
Yeah,
I
start
did
looking
it.
out for the other kids.
Yeah,
that
so
can help.
and that's been my thing ever
That's
since. It's
fire.
like
That's fire.
get them those experiences, and then that changes lives. Like you go, like I played ball for the Broncos. Shout out Gary Sims, may he rest in peace. Doc Naselli, may he rest in peace.
Shout out to
and
them
they gave me a
guys.
scholarship to go to high school, and I went to school with rich people, and I wasn't rich,
Yeah.
but just seeing a different way of living, different lifestyle, it gave me a little different
Open up
motivation.
your mind.
Right, to stuff that I would have never been exposed to in my neighborhood. You feel me? Like traveling on teams, going places, seeing different things. It's like, okay, this is lit. Like other people need to see this. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
What school was that?
I went to Delphi Academy.
Delphi, yeah, we heard of that.
Upstate New York?
Nah, it's in Bay Ridge.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's closed down now. It was a private school.
Yeah, I remember.
But at the time, it was tough. We had a couple of D1 players with me. It was solid.
That's what's up.
I remember that.
So I know saying that you played and coached in a lot of tournaments. Like if you had to pick one, like what's your favorite tournament?
That's tough. That's tough because, I have my favorite things about
Certain
every
tournaments,
tournament.
yeah.
Like when it comes to one of my favorite high school tournaments, and one of the hardest to win was Dykeman. That was hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like you from
You coming-
Brooklyn,
you from the other
you
side.
Harlem,
It's
and
like-
there's 10 other Harlem teams that they would rather see win
Yeah,
than you.
So you gotta go extra. your team
Yeah,
gotta go
you
extra
can't
hard.
go up there.
Might not even get the calls,
Yeah, and they go hard too. Like they rep their hood. They ain't playing. Like when we played them in the championship, my first Dykeman, high school championship. That might have been one of the illest things I ever did because they
Yeah.
had 5 NBA dudes.
I just
Like,
looked at. I
start
just saw that
5.
post on your
5.
page. What it said?
Yeah, he said us
BK
against the NBA.
Stompers versus the whole NBA at 7 p.m.
That was fire.
Yeah, five NBA dudes.
Yeah.
Word.
And we got that W convincingly.
Oh, y'all won that game.
Yeah, that was my
Who
first
did?
Dykeman
Give me some
championship.
memorable names.
On their team, they had Jose Alvarado, who just got
Yeah,
signed.
we used to watch
They
him.
had-
We used to watch him since he was in high school.
They
We
had
used to go to his
Isaiah
games.
Washington. They had
Jelly
Nick
fan.
Richards. They
Mhm.
had what's his name? Jordan.
Wasn't
something.
Wani wasn't on that team?
No,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I remember Nick Richards. They was praising him.
Yeah. They had Nick Richards. They had
Ja.
Tommy Diallo,
Tommy,
and they had
yeah.
another dude,
Yeah,
Jordan
Tommy.
something. He
Okay.
was another big time hooper.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I had a bunch of like two.
Yeah.
I had my boy Keith Will, Ray Soundnave. They were solid,
Yeah,
and a
Keith
bunch
Will,
of
yeah.
regular
Yeah, we watched
dudes.
Keith
And
Will
we
since
went
he
up there
was
and
blocked
handled them light.
Yeah.
Bunch of dudes that was just that Brooklyn. We just had that edge.
Facts.
Yeah.
They wasn't scared. They didn't care about a name. They
Mhm.
dug in, and we convincingly won that game. That was a big one for me.
Yeah, shout out to that.